Go, go, Willis Ness. Go, Willis Ness. Episode 34. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Fuck yeah, let's go!
Oh, it was solid.
Okay,
It was solid. And this week, when was it that I sent it to you? Was it Tuesday? I think.
It's like, what was it? I can't remember. It was like Power Ranger.
Yeah, it's National Power Ranger Day. Hang on, I still have the picture on my phone. Let's see here. I deleted that picture. Well, shit. Hang on, I can go through our stuff. Let's see here. Go to you, because we don't talk that much.
Josh sucks at Power Rangers.
Yeah. So August 28th was National Power Ranger Day.
So we're obviously on a little bit of a delay from when we release when we record, but it was kind of funny. But we're episode 34, season 3, episode 4. So we got, ironically, there's 3 Power Ranger games for the SNES. We got the first one.
Yep.
And, it's freaking Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It was a little bit after my time. Like, it was starting right when I was losing interest in stuff like this.
Oh, no, it was the hop of my era.
Yeah, I mean, I missed it by, we're probably talking a year or so.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that I ain't watched my fair share of them. I mean, if you gave me, a little smoke explosion, I could probably do, a Power Ranger, like where they get hit and roll back. I mean, I know a little bit, but, if, we're asking, when's Billy's birthday, I'm probably not going to be able to tell you that. I'm not super geeked on it, but, yeah, it's okay. The newer movies, I think, probably got beat up, or the newer one.
I thought it was surprisingly decent.
I thought it was good for somebody that's not like a Power Ranger purist.
Now, I will tell you this. Don't go back and rewatch the original movie. Mm-hmm. CGI does not hold up to the test of time.
Well, let me just go ahead and give you a sneak peek before we get into the back of the box of this. So, obviously, there is a million... We're going to do, our normal spiel. We're going to read the back of the box, give a little background. We're going to make it. We're going to break it. Okay, so after we do the make it and break it, we're going to do a little rundown about the game itself. We're going to do that before the make it, break it. We're going to do the price charting. The fun facts. There is a million fun facts about Power Rangers.
Yeah.
There's a lot to do with the speed run on this. So I'm going to do more speed run and a little bit of fun facts and save for the next 2. So we don't want to just blow our gourd on the first one. Plus, you probably already know the fun facts. I'm probably the one that's learning this stuff.
I probably know a fair share.
So I've got just a couple, but we'll save a lot more of the fun facts for the movies and some of the stuff on the other 2 games when we get to them. But right now, if you ask me, hey, what's this game about? You flip over this box, it says, don't look now, because her hideousness is back, and she's meaner and uglier than ever. This time, Rita Repulsa is out to pulverize the Power Rangers once and for all, and she's brought all of her nasty friends along to do the dirty work. But Jason, Trini, Billy, Kimberly, and Zach are at their morphing best with the awesome power of the Super NES machine on their side. Incredible graphics, amazing sound, and unbeatable action make this battle of good and evil an instant SNES classic. The game features 7 challenging levels of play, ending with breathtaking, all-out battles against Rita's most fearsome henchmen, including Bones, Guy, and many more. Only the power of the Super NES can put all this together. The characters and excitement of the phenomenal TV hit show series right at your fingertips. So what are you waiting for? Morph into action now with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Solid back of the box.
So, game was released in late November 94. They released this game on several systems. Super Nintendo, Genesis, Game Gear, Game Boy, Sega CD. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of interested. I've not looked on YouTube. I'm kind of interested to see what the Sega CD version of this looked like. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, it's either going to be really good or really bad. Probably really bad. And I could appreciate it being really bad.
Yeah. No, I could too, honestly. I'm very interested in that. But overall, I can't. Childhood, man. It's so good.
Published by Bandai. I'm sorry, let's get to develop first. Developed by Natsumi. Now they're known as Natsumi Atari. They've had different developers on different systems. They've been around for a while. Just some of the stuff they've developed is Shadow of the Ninja NES, Pocky and Rocky, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 on the Game Boy. They've did a lot of Power Rangers games, and they did their share of WWE and WWF games. I think most of them were on the Game Boy. They're kind of all over the place. So, when you acquire a company and you now have Atari on the end, and, you're going to be... you're going to be known in the industry. You're going to kind of be well versed, I guess. So, published by Bandai. Now, Bandai is the one that, I think has the rights to Power Rangers. Fun facts of 2 of their early games that they had. I kind of understand it, and you know where I stand on this toy. But they had a game on the NES based off a toy. It was called Tag Team Match Muscle. It was a Muscleman freaking video game. I've never played it in my life. I've never seen it in the wild. But you know where I am on Muscleman. So also they had another game that's the most expensive Nintendo game, regular NES game, I think. Now I say that this is licensed. If it's not the most expensive, it's going to be in the Mount Rushmore for sure.
Yeah.
Stadium events.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
So that's the holy grail, right?
Yeah, that's one of the holy grails out there.
So, you kind of got a pretty decent, what you call a pedigree, putting the game together, So, I guess the game itself, I mean, and I would imagine that everybody knows what a damn Mighty Morphin Power Ranger is.
If they don't, they are hiding underneath a rock.
So basically, you're playing as the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
The original 5.
Let me see if I know them. You got the I ain't gonna call them by names, but you got the Black Ranger, the Pink Ranger, the Yellow Ranger, the Blue Ranger, and the Red Ranger.
Yes. And
you don't get the Green Ranger or White Ranger in this.
Nope, not this one.
So this is basically it's a beat 'em up, side-scrolling beat 'em up, a little loose platforming, I would say, a little bit more to it than I thought it was gonna be. So you're picking one of the 5 Rangers, and you're going through a beat 'em up level. I mean, and it looks like a classic freaking beat 'em up. And you get to the end, and you're a familiar character. Obviously, you battle familiar enemies, and after you go through 7 levels of beating Rita's henchmen, as it says on the back of the box, or henchwomen, however they identify in today's day and age. You get your Megazord. Is that what it is? The first one? Because I know there is Dinozords.
Oh, yeah. No.
So the first one's Megazord, right?
First one's the Megazord.
So then after you complete all 7 quests, you get you complete your 5 quests, I think it is, and you become the Megazord, and you play a couple extra levels.
Then you fight a level with the Megazord, defeat that henchman. Then you fight the final boss, who has a second stage.
And so while you're, of course, if you're a fan of the game, and this, I didn't know this until I seen it, and then it brought me right back. Of course, what are you fighting other than the henchmen? You're fighting
the Putties.
The Putties. And and I was actually playing this game last night with another friend, and he said, "Hey, you know what sound the Putties make?" And I'm like, "I can't remember." He's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, fair enough." Like I could almost hear it, So that is essentially the game. Is you're just going left to right. There's some vertical. Yeah, there's some vertical. There's not really spoiler or plot twist or anything. You just get to the end of the level, you fight your boss just like you would in a basic beat 'em up game. Yep. And that is exactly what you're getting.
And this is actually one of the few games. Actually, I think this is one of the only games that me and you managed to play to completion together.
Yeah, now we did play it, and actually I played through it again last night, and somebody showed up at my house, and we beat it again.
Yeah.
So, fair enough,
It's a quick game.
So, is there anything I've left on the build-up? Is there anything that we should know about any Power Ranger or anything before we go farther?
No. I mean, It kind of sucks that Jason David Frank's character wasn't in there. Tommy, that's the green and white Ranger. But again, this was like during the heyday of Power Rangers. So I think this game came out right before he was introduced.
I'm going to drop a little fun fact on you, Josh.
So,
what if I told you there was a Green Ranger?
In the game?
Yes.
How the fuck do I get him?
He was only available in the Genesis and Game Gear.
Oh, well, fuck that.
Right.
Damn it.
So, that was a little fun fact, but I'm like, I don't know. I can't set on that.
No.
So, we got a nerfed down version. We didn't even get the Green Ranger. What's that damn flute called?
For one, it's not a flute.
Okay.
It's a dagger.
Okay. But does he like out of it?
That's how he summons the green Zord. Okay. He's got a mask who plays the dagger that sounds like a synthesizer. Okay.
So it's not the Ocarina of Time. It's the
it's a synthesizer dagger. Is what it is.
Okay. It's a not flute.
Pretty much.
Okay. It's better than a skin flute, I guess.
100%. It's better than the skin flute.
Okay. So we're gonna jump on in to makes. I've got one thing.
Off the gap.
The first thing that I got in this exact wording, it's 3 words with an exclamation point. I don't know where this came from, but I felt it. That music, yo. That is exactly what I put. So when you start this screen up, it just...
It's the theme song. Off the gate.
You're getting fucking lightning bolts coming out. And it's just like, But you know what is more impressive? That I didn't really pay attention because you take it for granted. That I noticed on the second playthrough was getting the... actually getting somebody singing. And so they didn't sing, they just dun, 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 go Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And that's what you got, and it sounded fucking good.
It sounded perfect.
Like you didn't even notice it. Like I don't think you ever hear the music without hearing somebody sing along or it be on TV. And I think when we watched, or like it was when we started, you're like, hey, I could hit start at any time. And I'm like, I didn't ask you to hit start. You know, where you let it play. And I just felt like I could have been in like a garage band just...
And also, here's the thing. Like I said, you said it, that music, yo. Power Rangers has always got good fucking music.
And I even like the damn lightning bolts coming now, you know? I mean, ain't that how the putties come out? Like when the lightning bolts hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's either lightning bolts or it's smoke bombs, depending on which genre of Power Rangers you're in.
Yeah, I mean, I hear that music and I was about to be like, Josh, let's go!
Yeah, it's Morphin Time!
So, the music, that startup screen just set the tone.
By far one of the best startup screens.
Yes, it was freaking awesome. I don't care if you love or you hate this game, that startup screen, if you're a Power Ranger fan of any sort.
It's right there. Like the moment.
And I can guarantee, even if you're not a fan, you probably still sung along to it.
Yeah.
So options menu, that options menu didn't really mean a whole lot to us,
because the music was going.
Yeah, it was stereo, mono, password, which is good. They have a password system.
Yep.
So the second thing, the player select. You get to pick your damn Power Ranger.
You get to pick 5 different ones.
Yeah, so you get to pick your Power Ranger, and we'll kind of, I guess, jump ahead in a little bit of the gameplay. Is on top of getting to pick the Power Ranger you want, you got to change Power Rangers between levels.
Yeah.
So, like, it wasn't like if you're like,
you weren't locked in.
Yes, it's like, let me, pick Billy, or let me pick Jason, or
Kimberly.
Yeah.
Trinity.
Yeah, I can't tell you.
Come on, name the last one. Come on.
Billy, Kimberly, Trini. Damn it.
Jason.
God, it's not Caitlin, is it?
No, it's the other. It's the third male. He's on your list. You named him all.
I know, but I'm being fair. I don't know off the top of my head.
Come on.
Okay. Let me pull him up.
Come on.
Zach.
Yep, Zach.
Okay. So
I was hoping you'd get him.
So, but it was like, hey, I want to play as Zach in this level. I can play as Kimberly in the next level. So you could change. You couldn't change in the level.
You had to complete the level.
You could play each level as a different Power Ranger, and I thought that's pretty cool.
And we did.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just like any good game, like, you know, Ninja Turtles, a good group. You want to play as all of them. I mean, so that part I thought was awesome, the whole player select screen. Also, and even though I do think some had a little bit of a speed difference or maybe a reach difference or whatever, they were all still manageable. It wasn't really noticeable. I don't think that you wouldn't win a stage because you picked the wrong Power Ranger.
Yeah.
But some levels I think were a little easier with... I think some enemies were easier with people like... I think Kimberly with that freaking bow and arrow just freaking hit him. And last night I found out you can actually pull the bow back and shoot the damn bow.
Yep.
It doesn't do nearly as much damage. No. But I'm like over here like freaking Robin Hood. I'm like Burt Reynolds in Deliverance. Just...
But yeah, no, that's the other thing I was going to say. Is like during our playthrough, if you watch me play as Kimberly, I never once shot the bow because it doesn't do nowhere near as much damage. So I just kept hitting. But like I said, each one of them had their own unique attack pattern. You know, Billy, whenever he went into Power Ranger mode,
I feel like once you hit Power Ranger mode, it was definitely more noticeable
because Billy, his was with his trident was hit, and then he spun it, which was really cool. And like I said, he had that slightly longer reach. I think he has the longest reach with a melee weapon. The longest reach is, of course, Kimberly, because you can shoot the bow. And then the most high damage is Zack with the battle axe. And then the other high damage is Trinity with the size. And then Jason was your balance.
So, yeah, and I think, you know... You get to play as the Rangers. And then you mention, you can play as the damn Megazord, too.
Yeah, at the end.
So, you know, that part's pretty cool, too. Like, I mean, we ain't even got in the gameplay. And, like, they really
knocked
did
it out
some good stuff.
They knocked it out of the park with all the different styles of people.
Now, as far as the actual gameplay, I could see, you know, saying, hey, this is a beat 'em up. And I bet I'm not going to say that I like platformers. I wouldn't say I'm a platformer because then people think you're automatically saying I'm good at platforming. No, I agree.
I dabble.
Now, I do like me some beat 'em ups.
Yep.
And I kind of got a little bit of like a Double Dragon feel for a minute there. And once again, not saying that I'm good at it. But I feel like the purist of beat 'em ups would say that this game sucks. But like I think they would really tear this game apart. I thought the beat 'em up part was pretty decent.
Wow.
I do have one thing in my bracket about the actual enemies that just kind of is weird. Didn't really notice it on the first playthrough. The second playthrough, I kind of did. But, I was expecting it to be a really bad beat 'em up. And I thought it was fun. I mean, I ain't saying it was no world beater. I wouldn't say that it is a Double Dragon, Final Fight, something like this. I mean, there's better ones out there, but I had fun with it. I mean, I had no qualms with the beat 'em up part. Maybe a little bit of the controls. Sometimes I'd do like a move that I didn't know how the hell I did it, like when I grappled. But for the whole part, the beat 'em up part was pretty good.
See, I don't classify it as a full beat 'em up because to me, a beat 'em up is like stage fighting to me. And there was actually adventure to this. So that's just me personally. Like I said, I mean...
Well, I think at the end of this too, and I'm going to skip down to this one, it's like, I think this game was very aware of what it was. The stages were short, and they weren't like nothing that just blow your mind. I mean, I bet there's probably 2 stages that we would talk about. But...
I know a stage you hate.
They stayed in their lane. I mean, the stage where you have water. That's a little unexpected. It's like, okay, cool. That damn laser that shot the shit out of me.
Yep.
You say, Josh should play this game. I'm sure I played this game, but I didn't remember it. And I'm like running through the stage. And I'm like, what's that sound? And Josh is like, I don't know. Get down! And it was too late. I just got my damn face blasted off.
Completely. I zoned out because I was sitting there. And I didn't really pay attention, but I mean, that also says something because, throughout the time you were playing, you were low on health And I'm like, if I'm not mistaken, there's health on the next screen. And as soon as you pass that screen where the screen actually shifted, there was health.
But, having some of that was unexpected, but it was a nice change of pace. Getting a couple levels like that. But once again, some of the stuff, I feel like they knew when to end a stage, because I don't think if these stages went on for 15 or 20 minutes a stage, I think there would be some pretty glaring flaws in it.
It was quick.
So, but like I say, I think they know how they stayed in their lane. And like I say, they introduced stuff, there's a little bit of vertical climbing, some wall jumping. Some of the stage designs was pretty wild, getting to kick doors down, beat up cars. I feel like they had the bare bones of a beat 'em up /
adventure
licensed game of what it needed to do. It needed to have some background interaction, and it was okay. It was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Like I say, I enjoyed it.
And one of the things, I don't know if this is in your bracket or not, but I think it as personally a make it for me is going back to your character selection with you choosing, again, I'm going to use Billy as a reference because he had that trident whenever you went into Power Ranger mode. And so he had that longer reach, and it done that twirl, it done little extra damage. But you playing as him in his normal, without Power Ranger mode, he is literally the worst at an attack. He didn't have the longest reach. There was a reach disadvantage in him being just in his normal, and I'm going to say normal skin, because that's the one that you died with in the sewer. Because you thought you were close enough, but he didn't have that reach. And I think all the Rangers were like that. I think the human counterpart of them was slightly different versus the actual Power Ranger to make them better, make them more excelled.
I do have a little bit to talk about that into the bracket. Another thing, the enemy bosses, they were all pretty fun. They each had their gimmick. I ain't gonna say that they were crazy tough, but I think there was a couple times when me and you played and it was like, oh god, we got enough health to beat this guy. Yeah. Like that damn dude that threw them, what was it, them little line comments or whatever, dragon comments out. You know which one?
The genie?
Yes.
Yeah.
My god, you felt it. You got hit on that bottom one, and it just wrecked your ass all the way up to the top. I didn't think he was gonna make it through. I'm like, golly, what you got on is, once he got you once, it was tough to fight out of.
Those daggers, those suck. Like I said, if he did hit you, he hit you with all four.
And I think the first bosses were a little different, but I do like that.
Bones?
I think I liked it when they had more than one form, because I feel like that was how it was in all the Power Ranger episodes.
It was.
It was either you get beat up and then you beat them, and then it's a second, then they blow up big into their second form.
And then you go Megazord.
Or you beat them and then he goes, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So I did like the bosses that had a second form, and I guess I kind of enjoyed that not all of them did, I don't think. But, I don't know.
I'd say the first dude had 3 forms. Bones did. He had normal, armless, and then just head.
I kind of like the eyeball boss.
Eyes, he went just from full eyes to single eye floating around. Genie just got a little faster.
Then you had that little dude and
that
had the rake. Yeah.
The dwarf guy just teleported faster. He's an asshole. I hated him. I still do to this day. And then your final boss has a second stage, too.
So I've only got 2 more things, and another thing that's cool is, hey, getting to, it's not as, turning into a Power Ranger is pretty cool. It's okay. Oh, it's time for Power Ranger time. Was when I was playing the game. I'm like, oh, it's Power Ranger time. Getting to drop your bomb. And then you get
your
the
ultimate
pterodactyl or triceratops. I felt like I was Captain Planet calling him out. And I was like, then Billy gets out there with his triceratops and I feel like he's going to go, heart!
Yeah.
I felt like. Yeah. But I did enjoy getting to see a superimposed image of a T-Rex.
Yeah, of whatever the iconic Zord was.
What's a Yellow Ranger? Saber-tooth tiger?
Saber-tooth tiger.
I did enjoy that got incorporated in there. I thought that was pretty awesome. Getting to
And
drop.
I also liked it because of the simple fact the overpause, like I said, the bomb or whatever you want to call it. Each one of them was different, even though it done the same thing. It was a full screen attack, but like the T-Rex was fire, the pterodactyls was arrows, pretty much.
The mammoth, I felt like
was
it was
rocks.
Just, yeah. Well, I think was the mammoth rocks, or was it just like ice or snowstorm or something like that?
I think it was rocks, and I think the Triceratops was ice. And then the Sabretooth was supposed to be fury attacks, I guess, claw attacks. Yeah.
There was a bunch of white claw cannons came down. It was a claw
Yeah,
attack.
just straight white claws.
I've only got one more thing on my heart for what makes this game, Josh. I mean, so Morphin's cool. I mean, that's a big thing.
That's a big thing. That also gave you full health.
In the fucking name. If you can't get a cool morph, then you're just Mighty Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And you don't want Mighty Power Rangers. You want Mighty fucking Morphin Power Rangers.
And then also, like I said, no matter what, it gave you full health. So that was good. And also, here's the other thing that I liked about it, is your health bar was green, but you could pick up more health.
It was almost like a double health.
It kept going up. The match you could get, it turned your health bar purple. So I liked how they didn't cap you at just green. They gave you a little more. And you only got a little more in Power Ranger mode, if you didn't notice that.
Well, I was trying to stay alive most of the time. So, so here's my last thing. You may have a lot left, but I felt like it's a one-player game that kind of feels like a two-player game. I felt like we played this game the way it should be played. I played the first level, handed over to the second level. And so we literally, when we fired this up, we were getting ready for a fantasy football draft, and it was like Josh got here like 45 minutes before anybody else.
Yep.
And so, he might have got another level in, and there was a level I did miss because I was getting something for Allie or whatever. Yeah. So I am glad I did go back and put a little more into it. It was the stage where it was like the elevator taking you up.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see that. So
that was
but just passing it back and forth between levels, and like say, I think you were fully engaged trying to keep my dumb ass alive, and I mean, that putty stabbed you or whatever. Yeah. Like it was just laughing at some of the stupid shit.
Don't hit. Make sure you're right up on them.
And I do think that this game, if I played it by myself through the 7 stages, I think I would have probably been done with it. I think I could have just set it down and I wouldn't want to touch it again. But I had no problem last night firing it back up. And then somebody, and you know what? If you said, hey, let's run through it real quick. Here's the speed run. Let's see how close we can get. I'll be like, let's run it back,
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I do think having somebody there to play with, even though it's only a one-player game, passing it off, that I think is the correct way to play this game. And I really enjoyed it that way.
Yeah. I agree. I'll stand behind that. Me personally, I said I like it. One of the last things I got on my list, because I can go on with this game, because I can bring back reminiscing of childhood, playing it and everything like that. One of the things that I really liked about it is I like how each stage had its own unique feel, theme. And still, the music and sound effects were still pretty decent to me. I don't know where you fall on the sound effects.
Well,
but
they were good. The music on every stage, not
fire.
just the start. Yes, it was good. And there was a couple times I'm like, man, the sound effect. I noticed a couple of them, and I'm like, that's mildly annoying. But with everything that's going on, it's like I think it was the barrels bouncing.
The barrels are annoying.
But I'm like, at the end of this, that's literally like 1/16 of this game.
Yeah.
It ain't like Hit the Ice or something where it's like constantly playing in the background.
And if you're not paying attention, like I said, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff going on, even when those barrels show up. That sound is actually, it helped me.
Right. I damn well tell you the second time I played it, when I heard that laser beam, I knew what the hell was coming. It's like, get the fuck out of the way of this.
Yeah. So, let's say, I thoroughly enjoyed the sound effects. And to me, like I said, sometimes the controls weren't that great, but overall, I thought they were good. I thought they were okay for what they were.
Okay. Well,
I said, yeah, you hit buttons that you didn't know.
I've got, are you done with Make It? Because the controls take me right into break.
Yeah.
Let's break it. I felt like you could have did more with the controls.
I'm not going to argue with that. You can.
Because I feel like there was some dead buttons on there that could have been used. And the other part is, like, I think we played, like, half the damn game. And then all of a sudden, I got, like, dude in the headlock just, like, wore him out in a grapple. And then you're like, what'd you do? It's like, I don't know. Yeah. I have no idea what the hell I did. It would have been kind of nice to have a little bit more power with the controls, no pun intended. But, there was some empty buttons, and then I'm hitting the same buttons. Yeah. Like, I do appreciate that you can, like, hold up and do, like, an overhead attack, or hold down, and that part was kind of cool, but I'm like, I kind of got, like, an extra button here or two that I could have literally used this with. Yeah. So, a very minor qualm, but I'm like,
there could have been a strong attack and a light attack. I say I can't defend you on that, but for what the controls were, what they gave you, they worked. So
now the second thing this one, you're right. It has to do with ranger selecting. So I feel like hot take on it. Let's get the Power Ranger fans get their britches all lit on fire. Are you a Power Ranger fan if you only play as one? Like, if this is the first time you played, or like the second time, and you don't switch to every Power Ranger, are you really a Power Ranger fan? Like, I can understand if you don't pick, like, Billy, because you hate the bastard, right? I understand that. But, like, you want to play as all the Power Rangers.
What is your problem with Billy?
Well, I feel like he talked like this. Like, I don't know. He's a geek.
He's a nerd?
He's a nerd. He's the nerd that gets your ass kicked when I was a nerd. Like, he's not a cool nerd. This is bullshit. So each Ranger is, I bet if you told me with the blue, red, yellow, black, blue, red, yellow.
Come on.
Black.
Come on.
Blue, red, yellow, black. Pink.
Yep.
If you told me that you resonated with one of these characters, like one of the colored Rangers, more than the other, I bet there's a reason. Even if you're like, hey, I like Kimberly. Why? Because she's cute. Because I like her attitude on the show. Like, each of them resonate. Yeah. They each got a little difference. Yeah. So if I said, I don't know, man, I'm a Red Ranger guy, you'd be like, I kind of get it. So I felt like, even though it wouldn't have mattered, this is me nitpicking, I felt like when they gave you the player select string, it should have showed you a power meter, speed. Like, I feel like you should have had a little attribute. Okay. Even though it wouldn't have mattered because the gameplay was the same, it'd be like, hey, the
Black Ranger was a little stronger.
Yeah, well, Zach is way more agile than, Billy. Yeah. That's the geek, but
he has range.
Yeah. And he has range. And then, so-and-so has more strength. I felt like that would have been kind of cool. I feel like it was a missed opportunity.
That would have been cool, too. And also, another missed opportunity would have been giving the Rangers a secondary attack.
Right.
And illustrating it. Like I said, I knew you could shoot an arrow with Kimberly. You didn't. But say you were sitting there selecting Kimberly and it popped up that shoot arrow. It shows her drawing a bow and shooting it. You'd be like, cool, how the fuck do you do that?
All right. I'm saving toward the end the sprites on one of this.
Okay.
You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
I'm going to save that. I'm going to go with a little bit of, some of the sprites. Like, it wasn't as noticeable. Oh, damn. I forgot to put this in to make it. Time out. This is make it. You know what one of my favorite parts of every stage was? When you beat it. And I felt like every time I go.
Oh, the back.
Yeah, I'd go. Yeah, that was awesome. I'm sorry. That was banging.
And that's only if you stood at the far right of the screen.
I would got to stand.
If you did stand at the far right of the screen, you just stand there and it pop up everything.
If it wasn't that fucking cool, I wouldn't have mentioned it, but I completely forgot about it. Okay, so speaking of jumping animations, I didn't think it was as bad. Like, most of the sprites were pretty simple, except for the one that we're going to get to at the end. when you were in Power Ranger mode, that damn jumping animation was the most goofy shit that I ever seen. Like, it was like almost like a swan dive. Like, I felt like you were goddamn Hollywood Hogan, NWO'd up. I've got an NWO shirt over here somewhere, and I feel like you're swan diving off the top rope. And I'm like, come on, man. Come on.
Eddie Guerrero's 5-star crawl splash coming in.
Yes. So the jumping animation was pretty goofy. Now, I'm not going to say I didn't laugh. So I guess it kind of probably did the point. But I'm like, another animation that was...
Well, okay. I have to defend that. I have to. Because go back...
They do
and watch the show.
I would just like you to say, Rita would be like, what happened, Bones?
Dude, this motherfucker swan dove in.
Zach's nipple hit me in the eye and it hurt me. Like, I mean, what else? Like, it's chest first.
But if you seriously go back and watch the show, whenever they're in Power Ranger mode,
and they jump off the screen.
They do the full arms out swan dive into it. So,
you know, I feel like
I have to defend that.
I feel like Power Rangers is like literally Olympic gymnastics for dudes. Like, that's what it is. Like, I feel like it's when they land and they put their hands out. Okay. Okay, so get into some of the gameplay here. Game was probably a little too easy. I didn't...
Yeah.
That's probably... I'm okay with it. Because I don't think the game was
designed
that strong to carry it through 10 more stages or 6 more stages. I think it was the appropriate stages to me, and I was able to get in and out, but I'm not a diehard Power Rangers fan. I bet, I could understand how people would say, hey, the game is probably too easy, it's probably too short, and it's repetitive.
Well, the way I look at it is this came out in the 90s, and at the time, the only people playing video games were kids. Or upper, but I think this was more genre to kids who couldn't beat hard video games, that needed something easier. Because I remember as a kid playing this game was actually pretty damn difficult.
Right.
So I think that's where it was. I think this was more geared towards younger kids that would have problems with this.
And to get into the repetitive, I mean, just like the show, most of the putties look the damn same. So
different colors.
You put a different color on them. Mm-hmm. And so I've got a little beef with the putties. But, I mean, I don't know. How many different putties you think you fought? 4?
No, 7.
7 putties? 7 different tops? They were pretty forgettable. But, hey, they're base level. They're foot soldiers. You know what they look like? Fucking foot soldiers off of damn Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They look like freaking foot soldiers. I'm like...
The Foot Clan.
Yeah, Foot Clan. It's like...
Well,
did we just buy the Foot Clan sprites?
Look at it this way.
It was like the Great Value Foot Clan.
Well,
it looked like them.
Let me defend this.
I would have appreciated... I would have not even said a word if I got a little...
See, let me defend this. The Turtles and the Rangers came out roughly the same era. I don't know who came first.
I do not think that is correct.
Yeah.
Well, maybe in Japan.
Yeah.
Because I can get down to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was in my days.
Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out in, I think, the 80s. But I think the original Power Rangers came out in the 80s as well.
I don't think so. But hang on, I'm looking. You keep defending.
But if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong, but I think they were very close.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, according to Google, which ain't gonna lie to us, right?
You can't lie on the internet.
Shows August '93. Because I remember being a kid going to the
movie. Is that Japanese or is that American?
Oh, that's going to be American. I mean, the Japanese. I know when the... Okay.
Look up the Japanese date.
But I will go ahead and tell you, I've never heard of the Japanese version of them.
Oh, I have. I've watched them. It's actually really fucking interesting. Because there's blood, gore, there's everything in it. Instead of the smoke and the sparks. So...
But, yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty pretty cheap on the putties.
Yeah, they're like I said, they're iconic. You know, they're both the generic foot soldiers. They look very similar.
Super Sentai began in the 80s, but I'm telling you, I knew for sure. I remember getting Vanilla Ice. Go Ninja, go Ninja,
go.
And I was probably in late middle school when Power Rangers, when I was introduced to them. But I felt like some of the animations on the putties was...
Well,
I mean, once again, you kind of nitpicking. They're henchmen. They're just fodder. No. But I was like, man, you could literally put a turtle sprite in here, and I don't know that you could really tell a difference when you started looking at it.
See, now, that's the thing, is it could have been a complete coincidence. Or one or the other could have copied each other and changed something a little different. Because I don't know who came first. I just know they were both roughly around the same time frame. So, I mean, it's... That's just how it is.
So, I did think this part right here, this part bothered me probably more in the actual gameplay than anything. Is I've got marked down here, I feel like all I did was grab people and toss them. Except for every now and then I did a random beat 'em up when grappling.
Yeah.
And I know what the problem is. And it could be me, but in most of these games, judging from when you played and when my other friend played, I think this is probably an everybody issue, not just me. But like when I'm fighting somebody, I'm normally holding the button going toward them, hitting them.
Yeah.
And that's where you get the grapple. I did purposely last night stop holding the button toward them, and if you just left it, the controller, the directional, flaccid, and just hit the punch button, it was a lot better. But I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't even think about it. Like, I'm holding that down. And, I mean, there was several times, like, it was kind of funny. You'd be like, oh, wow. Or I would say, like, hey, like, somebody would jump straight to a grapple and you would toss them. And then all of a sudden, they'd give a dude a noogie or what.
Yeah.
Like, pow, 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 punch him.
Or shoot an arrow.
So I felt like, I'm like, okay, well, I'm playing a beat 'em up, and I'm like, am I really playing a beat 'em up, or am I playing a grapple and toss? Like, there was plenty, and that toss was about the same as doing that up attack button. Like, it didn't really do a whole lot of damage by itself if you didn't combo it with anything, and that was probably a little frustrating. Now, the bosses, you didn't have to worry about that. There was no grappling a boss, but there was several times, like some of these putties, and it wasn't like I was trying to just hurry and get through it, but it was just like, just let me kill this dude. Well, and I toss him off the screen. Then I got to wait for his ass right on the screen. Or I toss him, and the next thing you know, he's stabbing me in the back. You know,
well, some of the toss actually helped me. You know, whenever there's a lot of enemies, you toss them and you work on one. So I've always liked to toss, but like you said, if we had, now maybe it was with the bots. Maybe if there was some clarification on how the controls worked, that would be better. But besides that, like I said, we are literally nitpicking this game.
Well, and
to me, I'm nitpicking it.
I do have an issue too, because hey, what's the coolest part about being a fucking Power Ranger is being your little damn tight suit and calling in a damn freaking dinosaur Zord, you know, coming through here. And you know, I do know that there was places where you could pick up extra bomb, but you really only got one bomb for stage. Now, you probably only needed that. But I'm like, come on. Let me at least, like, keep two bombs for the final guy.
Let me earn one.
Yes. I mean, that damn saber-tooth tiger is one thing. If you got two of them, like, I don't know. I felt like I wanted more Zords than, is that what you call the...
yeah, they're Zords.
I wanted more Zords. But you probably would have had to extend the game, and that would have probably led to its own issue. So, yeah, I mean, that part, maybe that's a victim of it. It was fun to do, so I wanted to do it more, you know.
Probably would have taken away from the music.
I don't know. I don't know about that. So, here is, I don't know, I mean, I got a couple left on the gameplay itself. And this one I thought about is, the game is kind of plain when you look at it. And I feel like here's the part, and I can't believe I'm going to be the one to say this, is you should have gave me more power-ups.
Yeah.
Maybe if the health power-ups wasn't full health, or as much as it was. Or maybe if the stages were timed and you're getting clock. I felt like if there was more stuff that an enemy could drop, I felt like that was a missed opportunity. I think the game would have probably hit some more high points and you wouldn't have noticed. I mean, the game was kind of play. I enjoyed it, but it was pretty simple. And that's not a bad thing for what it did. But I felt like you could have just put, like, I don't know, instead of like a health bar that gives you 3/4 health, maybe it was more chicken legs that's like half health.
Yeah.
Or time. Or maybe freaking Zord power or something, which I do know is in the second Power Ranger, the Power Rangers, the movie.
Yeah.
So I did have a problem with that. And another thing that I feel like, like I say, this is probably nitpicky. And, because, I just told you that I felt like we're ripping, we're doing some turtle stuff. Maybe I kind of felt like I was like, hey, you only got 2 lives, which would have been a huge break for me. Other than really 2 lives is all you really needed, I do feel that was accurate.
I don't know, you lost 1 for me.
Well, you didn't tell me I was about to get my shit blasted off. So, potato. That's all I can tell you.
But they gave you the password system.
Yeah.
And the password wasn't complicated.
Well, what I think...
4 digits.
What I think would have been better is give me 5 lives.
Erase a Power Ranger?
And erase a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Like, don't let me play with the Power Ranger
that you died with.
Even if you give me an opportunity, like in some of the Turtle games, to rescue one of the Power Rangers back.
Yeah.
But I probably, if I had to imagine, in the days of Super Nintendo and Bandai, and I think this show was on Fox Kids at the time, or on Fox, they probably didn't want to depict a Power Ranger dying if I had to guess.
It's the same with the Turtles.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's the exact same with the Turtles.
I got 3 things. The overall of it, I felt like the game probably felt like a rushed game. I felt like there's a few stock stages that you could have probably put in any beat 'em up and just inserted whichever character, superhero, whatever. And I feel like you could have made this game and just put it hits me more now when I talk about the Putties looking like Foot Clan. I feel like you could have, if you took the Power Rangers out of this and you put like Fantastic Four or something into this game with a different, I feel like this was a stock game that you superimposed some Power Rangers into. That was probably one of my, everything felt a little rushed. And I think that's why probably people that are pure beat 'em up style will kill them for this. So, I don't know, probably minor. Like I say, I ain't saying that it ruined the game, but, the game did have some spots that did feel pretty plain, I'm going to say my best for last, but, okay. This ending scene fucking sucked.
The ending scene is terrible. That was my very last on the break-in.
Okay. So you win the game, you get up here and you're fucking battling Megazord, and the Megazord battle's pretty fucking cool. I would say it's not like any other part of the game, but I feel like you got the complete Power Ranger experience with it.
You had to power up you had to wait for your power to go up.
And it was a little tougher than expected.
If you wanted your full-on ultimate attack, you gotta wait for that power. Oh, guess what? That ultimate attack can be blocked.
Yes, that's heartbreaking. But
it made the game better to me.
So when the game ended, it's literally there's one bright spot in there. I think
there's a driving scene.
The driving scene sucks.
The driving scene's terrible.
And then you go to the damn juice bar where you watch Zach breakdance. And
forever.
Yes. And I'm like, and then I think finally it's like a nighttime driving scene.
Yeah.
And you get like a picture of Rita Repulsa. And I was okay with that. That was okay. Like, this ain't over, just like every freaking Power Rangers episode ever. I'm wondering, just off the top of my head, do they still make Power Rangers?
Yeah.
Oh, Power Rangers still going.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, did they ever kill Rita at the end or like make her a good...
Rita is no longer, if I'm not mistaken. I think now it's Zord.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just... I got out of Power Rangers right after...
You're telling me you're out of Power Rangers?
Yeah.
That's some bullshit I smell over here.
No. I got out of Power Rangers after the whole White Ranger saga of the original. But now they have Dino, Tom Cop, Fusion, a bunch of other brands that I don't pay attention to. But if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Rita's in them anymore. I think they alternate between bads in each revamp of Power Rangers. So I think Rita was just on the original crew and maybe one more after that.
Okay. My last thing is some of the sprites. I say some of the sprites. I've done told you about the other sprites I didn't like. What they did to Zach, what they did to the Black Ranger was dirty.
That was dirty.
Now, I'm not going to coin the term racist, but by God, I felt better about the rebel flag on freaking Mario's time machine that I did. Like, this sprite, specifically of Zach, is the worst, maybe, that I've seen in any video.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
You go look at it, you defend them, you tell us that we're wrong. Because I would love to, because it looked pretty bad for myself.
It looked terrible.
If I was the actor that played Zach, do you know his name? Do you know his name?
I don't know the actor's name.
Damn, I figured you would. I would be like, all these other guys kind of have a resemblance. And Jesus, like, I get this. This is Super Nintendo, but everybody else looked pretty decent.
Yeah.
Except for Zach.
Zach did look really bad.
And that's where I'm going to leave it. That might be the most breaking part of anything right there.
Like, but speaking of the original Power Rangers, the only two that I really know is Amy Jo Johnson.
Pink Ranger.
Pink Ranger.
Smoke show. Just saying.
Yeah.
Smoke show right there.
Met her in person.
Was she a smoke show?
Oh, yeah. Still to this day. And then I met Jason David Frank, which is the Green and White Ranger. And then, who else did I meet? I think, I met Walter Emanuel, which is Zach.
Okay.
So I thought, I didn't know his name off the top of my head, but I did meet him. So, and then I met Trinity.
Okay. So, anything?
I can't remember her name either.
Do you have anything left that you want to crap on your childhood memories about with this game?
No.
Okay.
Really upset that the Green Ranger was on the Sega though.
I
really
knew that would probably be your biggest break it right
Yeah,
there.
100% because
you know what? Like,
the Green Ranger was my favorite.
when did the Green Ranger come in? Was that like season 2 or 3? Or of course it was cartoons. I wasn't thinking about. I feel like he came in like a year later after they came in.
He was later.
I'm like, you couldn't have put a damn game out and then came out with another one with the cash grab with the Green Ranger?
Yeah.
I don't know. So, you want fun facts or speed runs?
Fun facts.
Okay. I got some pretty plain fun facts, and they're not going to be as fun as others because I do know that there is countless numbers of them.
Oh, yeah.
Probably my most thing that cracks me up the most is that they have these interviews. I don't know if it's with a podcast or like a blog or whatever, but the name of it's called No Pink Spandex.
Okay.
And that's referenced in like all of these, and that cracks me up because I'm like, if I'm wearing spandex, I want them to be pink. I want them to be that aqua turquoise color. Or no, pink. It's pink in that. That is what I want. Maybe purple.
Purple I'd wear or mint.
Yeah. Okay. Mint. Fucking mint.
Mint.
Okay. So it took 7 years to sell the show. So, like I say, these I'm not going to get into the hard hitting ones because we got 2 more games of this.
Yeah.
Before he was an executive producer on Power Rangers, Saban was a concert promoter, a theme songwriter and producer of a NBC Kids show. It's kind of like MTV, but for children.
Yeah.
He went to Japan. He met with some animation studios, and that's where he found Super Sentai, which was the
original.
Yes. He said that we got to do something with this. It was huge in Japan, but nobody in the world was looking at the stuff. So basically, he shopped the show around. Nobody cared. he quoted, "For 7 years, I've schlepped this thing. And everyone said, go take a pill or something because it's too weird. Guys in spandex suits and dinosaurs." And then, that's what he said in 93. But then he met with Fox Children's Network president Margaret Loesch, who was definitely interested, and the rest was history. So he'd been for 7 years
trying to sell Power Rangers.
Which I guess kind of, about them being around a little bit longer. And I'm going to end just short with just one more little snippet. Amy Jo Johnson, in an interview with Pink Spandex, when they were beginning to film the show, the original name that they were pitched was not Power Rangers. Do you know what it was going to be called?
No.
It was going to be called Dino Rangers.
No.
And
wait, hang on. That's actually one of the seasons, if I'm not mistaken. I think one of the seasons is called Dino Rangers.
And when the show just started, before they changed the name to Power Rangers, is when they started. And there is some pretty interesting facts we'll get to about how underpaid some of these actors were. Like, they were there and, they were basically roommating together. They were working all night and day and just, crashing at each other's houses.
Here's a fun fact.
And then they even, when they had the big earthquake over there, they called them hey, it's coming into work.
Yeah.
And so there was probably a little bit of Hollywood sleaze going on there.
Here's a fun fact for you.
Okay.
One of the original Power Rangers went to prison.
Well, for what?
I'll let you find that out.
That sounds like it's Chomo stuff, if I had to guess. He either killed somebody or it's Chomo. Well,
he killed somebody.
Well, I called it. All right, so that's just teasing. I had the other fun fact was you could play as the Green Ranger.
Yeah,
but I was kind of it wasn't that I couldn't sit on it all episode. I kind of wanted to fuck with you and tell you right off the bat because I figure it'd shake you a little.
Oh,
bit.
It absolutely pissed me off.
So that kind of makes me upset that I think if this game is the same on the Genesis, that the Genesis got a superior version.
Yeah,
well, I think the Super Nintendo is one of the GOAT consoles of all time. But,
yeah,
that's just me. I got deep into some speed runs. There is a lot going on with some speed runs, brother. There's 3 speed runs.
No damage.
No. There is just completing it.
Okay.
It's completing it using all the Rangers. And then there's one called Billy %. And
Billy!
All these times I'm I don't know what this means. There's actually a big fucking button right there. It says instructions, and I clicked on it, and so all these times I've been guessing at what they are. It's literally just click and it tells you what it is.
Okay.
So, my dumb ass, but I can tell you what Billy % is. So do you want to know? We'll start it off like this. Let me
just start it off with complete.
So complete. Let me scroll in here, zoom in because I'm old. So, what would you think speed running this game? Now, this game, I would think
20 minutes.
No, that's way too quick. It's quick. I ain't gonna say it's way too quick.
Okay. 25 minutes.
Still too quick.
Oh.
Look, I bet you're I could do it in 25 minutes. Look, that's how these guys are thinking.
I'm thinking about it, but then you gotta go with stage progression and everything, so 35?
No, you missed it. Let me go ahead and tell you. I took the top 5 because they were the 5 that was under 30 minutes.
Okay.
There was 62 fucking speed runs on it.
Oh, shit.
So there's a lot of Mighty Morphin motherfuckers out there.
Yeah.
So, I don't even know what flag it is. It kind of looks like a Norwegian flag, but it's red and blue. Noble Boy 77 completed it in 29 minutes 54 seconds.
Okay.
Butters BB. American name, obviously. Is it Butters basketball? Butters baseball? Butters BBs? I don't know. Butters big balls? I don't know.
I don't know, but it's good.
10 years ago, now Noble did it 3 years ago. 10 years ago, Butters BB did 28 minutes 48 seconds. 2 Canadians got second. They got second and third. Third place was Dan Show 1, 27 minutes 50 seconds. Wiz War 100, 27 minutes 47 seconds. An American owns the speed run from 4 years ago. 27 minutes, 32 seconds, Mr. Arnott.
Okay.
There was somebody that, what was it? There was a guy like way down on the list, and his name was like Mr. Morphalicious or something. It was something. It was something that was pretty good. So then they've got the speed run using. Now on this,
every Power Ranger,
you have to use each Ranger and complete a level. So this one has a theory to it. This is what blew my mind. Think of this. This is something you ain't thought about. So we used all 5 Rangers, right?
Yeah.
This is using the theory, and put this on. I love me some timeline.
Oh yeah,
time travel shit. Using the theory that each Ranger is completing each level and fighting the boss at the same time. So instead of them fighting completely different, it's like all 5 of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
and that's got my fucking rocks going right there.
That's
like
solid.
So it's like, instead of it being a 30-minute game, it's like a 10-minute game. Like 10 minutes.
That makes sense because the simple fact, it's 5
Maybe
levels.
that's why you can't switch.
Yeah, that's 5 levels, Zord, and then Zord.
So, I mean, if you played all 5, that would be the theory. Now, if you played as the same guy the whole time, but I'm like, I kind of like that. Because what are you going to do? You're going to divide, you're going to conquer. Get them apart, and then attack. And I'm like, yes.
I like it.
Yes. Now, we inadvertently did it.
We did do it that way.
I picked the top 3. Space _Jam completed it in 30 minutes, 55 seconds.
Okay.
Dan Show 1 did it in 29 minutes, 24 seconds. And Mr. Arnott owns the speed run on this one. 28 minutes, 43 seconds. So using every Ranger, he was about a minute.
Now this is on
10,
Nintendo,
12.
right?
Yeah, Super.
So how would you do that with the Green Ranger?
I don't know. It's a different
category.
A lot of them will say click Super Nintendo Genesis. They were 2 different entries. So
okay, then never mind. We won't. We're not a Genesis podcast. Yet.
So this is Billy percent. And all these start on the first stage and ends on the final hit of Cyclopsis. This category is separated from other categories due to Billy being the slowest Ranger.
Yeah.
And his throw range is not good for setup, so different strategies must be used. So, I guess you were picking the worst Ranger, Billy, which I probably concur because he told like I feel like I don't know. I just feel like I'd kick Billy.
But that's his normal. His normal is
Billy.
But his Power Ranger.
I know 6 Billies, and they're all way fucking cooler than this Billy. He's a bad name for all Billies.
I disagree with that. Because we know one Billy that works at our last job.
Yeah. I'd probably hang out with that nerd Billy. Okay, I'd still whoop his ass, but I might tell him sorry 6 years later. You know? So, considerably slower. Now, Mr. Arnott is not the winner of this one. Wiz War completed it 31 minutes, 22 seconds. These are some Brazilians. It's HISAGI. Hisagi _Z did it 31 minutes, 16 seconds. Cat Warrior from Brazil did it in 30 minutes, 51. And Dancho 1, one of the Canadians, did it in 30 minutes, 15 seconds. All these are all pretty old. The newest one was Hisagi _Z did it a year ago. But, I mean, that was almost like 2 or 3 minutes added on the speed run just by using that Ranger. And I do think it's a testament, even though it's not, I don't hate him, but it's just not my full-on jam. I was excited to get to play this game. I did think the game was cool, but when you look on here, there is so many different nationalities that is on here. I was shocked. I ain't going to say that there wasn't one, but I didn't notice one of the 62. I'm sure that's where it would be, but I didn't notice a Japan one.
Yeah.
They're probably like, we want Sensei, or what? Yeah. We're not playing no Dino Warriors. But, so that's the speedruns. The speedruns was a little,
That's interesting.
I was entertained by all this. When I looked in, I kept scrolling through. I was like, good God, how many speedruns are there? Like, hey, there's 62 speedruns. I was like, motherfucker.
Well, that would make sense. That would also revert back to your original thing of giving the Power Rangers stats.
Right. Yeah. I mean, other than I think this guy's slower, I'd be really pissed off to have to play every stage with that character and stop watching. Oh, yep. That guy's quicker. You know? All right. Moving on to price charting, Josh. eBay, I couldn't find a good complete copy. I could find boxes. I couldn't find a new one. So price charting is going to pretty much be the goat on this one. What do you think a loose copy of this game cost you, Joshy?
Dude, I'll tell you how much I paid for it.
How much would you pay for it?
I'd pay about $20 for it.
Okay, well, I can't believe you say you paid $20 for a game.
Trust me, but this is a childhood game.
Price charting has it $17.99. What I seen on eBay shipped was about $23.
Yeah.
So we just round off, call it $20. What do you think a complete copy of this?
A complete copy, I would pay $60 for it.
Well, I bet you would, because somebody tell you to kiss their ass, you're low.
Really?
Pretty low.
Okay. $120.
Price charting has it $116.75. So
I wouldn't pay that much for it.
What if it was just like 100 flat?
Maybe. We talking.
There may be a poster in there.
Yeah, there better be a poster.
Green Ranger that you can't play at.
Yeah.
Okay, brand new. What do you think a copy runs?
Let's go $350.
You have the correct numbers, but in the wrong order.
$530.
No.
$53.
No, it's the same three numbers. You got to give them in the right order. It's the only order that you haven't got. It's not $530. And it's not $350.
Wait.
Well, it's not the only one, but okay.
I'm about to say, I said $530, $350, $305, $503.
305.
305? Okay.
305, period, 69.
Nice.
So $305 is what a brand new copy of this is going. So you done told me you spend $20 of it. If I'd say here's this game for $20 or here's $10, which are you gonna take?
Keeping the game.
I would keep the game. $20. It ain't a whole lot of. I don't know. I don't know if I'd spend $20 of cash on it. Like if it was the only game there, I'd be like, "Hey, will you take 10?" Like I would try to barter around. I think it's worth $20, but the problem is it's a licensed game. It's a TV show. It's a movie, but it's actually pretty good. And it would be like you're always like they're never good. And this is one of the few like True Lies that was pretty good.
To me, it's childhood. $20 is $20. You know, for this game, for the childhood, the nostalgia of it, I'd take it. I keep the card on this.
Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and rank these. Can you remember the games that we ranked in what order that you have them?
Puzzles, number 1.
Pieces.
Puzzles, pieces, whatever.
Last week's game.
I'm trying to think.
I had to beat myself up trying to remember these as well. Like, I remember when I see them.
I said they're not good. I can't fully remember them.
Mario's missing.
That's right. Mario's is missing.
And
Super Battle Tank was last.
You've got Pieces as your number 1 game. Mario's missing number 2, and Foreman for real.
That's right. Foreman. God,
do you know where I've done put mine in here?
Oh yeah, this is number 1.
Do you think it's number 1
for this week? Yes, I think it's better than Puzzles.
Pieces,
whatever.
Well, let me put you down here. Is that in the business? Do you call it MMPW or PR? WW. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. MMPR.
I just call it the Rangers.
MMPR. Like I feel like you do hand,
you got
like blood. MMPR, bitch.
You got to do some type of hand gestures.
Well, you know, I thought it was almost as good as VR Troopers. I'm playing with the VR Troopers. It was all right too. That was definitely the knockoff of Power Rangers. I have Pieces, Mario's missing, and Foreman for real in the same order. But you put Mighty Morphin Power Rangers as number 1, and I did too. So I thought I was just fucking with you. I was trying to get a little bit of
I was about to say, the only way I could defend Pieces would have been for 5-player party mode.
I think the problem is, I think Pieces probably was a better game. Like, overall, like, the whole thought, the aspect of it, but I don't think the replayability of the same puzzles
Wasn't
over
there.
and over
Wasn't
is there.
there.
I ain't saying that I'm going to play Power Rangers for 3 years from now, or 3 years beating it every day of my life.
Yeah.
But, hey, you got a Power Rangers itch, it'll scratch it, you know.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
So, I guess on our predictions for next week, I think you got this one right. Didn't you say cartoon or TV show? Maybe.
Yeah, it was something like that.
You got any bold predictions?
Let's see here. RPG.
You're going RPG.
Turn-based. Turn-based.
Okay.
What you got?
I don't know if I'm just trying to will it into existence. But
Wrestling.
I'm going wrestling.
You going wrestling?
And you know, I'm probably going to regret what I wish for because I remember there being such good wrestling games. And I've not played one since like 1990 something. So they're probably fucking horrible. And it will probably devastate me. I'll be here with a tear in my eye. It'd be like you trying to tell me how bad your Power Ranger game is. Like, it would hurt me to my soul.
Yeah.
Because, like, I remember I'm going to say it's wrestling. I want Royal Rumble. That's
Rumble?
what I want.
I remember that game. That one was...
And I want to play as Tatanka. And I hope he goes, yay, 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 yay.
I want to play as Doink the Clown.
Oh, there was Doink the Clown. Anyways, we're going to come back next week, episode 35. Maybe we'll have a different... Let's see what happens.
Yeah, we're going to see.
All right, see ya.
See ya.